Hi everyone, this is Johnnyonoes, and this is Soul Trader, a build that was released on June 9th, 2016. This short video is going to go over who you should be becoming friends with based off your goal. Now, the goal for my character is to become the president of the old Federation. So, first thing you have to do is you have to determine, what attributes do you need to hit that goal. Now, for the political regime, you need to acquire wealth, you need to acquire influence, as well as loyalty. Now, loyalty is one of the easier attributes to gain, and I'll show you how to do that right now. So, loyalty is basically an attribute that you can build by doing quests for people, but the easier way to do it is just by giving materials to a particular building that needs materials. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out and get us some titanium here. I apologize ahead of time, I don't know exactly where the titanium is, so we're going to have to find it. Silver and gold works as well. Unfortunately you can't mine gold, but maybe silver will be the easier way to go. So I remember there was some good stuff over here in Mars. So this looks like nickel. Yep. What's this one here? It's copper's no good. Nickel again. There's some silver. So let's go get some silver. So I warn you ahead of time, whenever I shoot rocks, the sound kind of goes all staticky. Alright, sorry about that. I'll make sure to put that in my little bug thread of what happens when you shoot a rock. Anyways, so I picked up some silver. And let's go back to Earth. Right. And if you didn't know, if you're playing in zoom mode, you get to see all these markers, and it can be pretty crazy. If you zoom in, you'll get the marker that you've targeted on the left-hand side. Alright, so let's go to New York. Because we got silver, we want to be able to go to a bank here, huge bank. So it's extremely important when you're giving out, so that you have the option of supplying wanted goods, right? It's really important to look at the faction that the person is affiliated with before you give it to them, because what will happen is your loyalty will raise based off of the faction that the person you're giving it to is with, not the building. Like the building is in New York and it's Old Federation, but the guy here is from the New Order. Now I want to raise my loyalty with the Old Federation, so this is not the right guy for me. This guy's Outer Alliance, still no good. And this one's New Order, fantastic. Alright, so that bank is not worth my time. I think there was another bank here, nope. Alright, let's go ahead and go to Tokyo. Just like that, we're in Tokyo. Alright, so medium-sized bank. New Order. New Order. There we go, finally, we got someone from the Old Federation. Alright, so we go to chat, and supply wanted goods, and give her some silver. Alright, she likes me now, yay. Alright, so when I want to go to somebody, let's go to New York again, because I had the nice big bar with lots of people in it. Or hotel. Small hotel, and then it says motel up here. That's another bug, but it's semantics. Alright, so here's my friend here, Rosamund Allen. So if I wanted to raise my loyalty with her, already I've got pretty good loyalty, but I go to chat, and then make small talk. And so I can go ahead and now select that I supplied some needed goods to Geneva, Auckland, and I build up my loyalty. You can see I've been doing this a few times here, so you have multiple selections. Alright, so loyalty is pretty easy to build up. Loyalty and what's the other one? Reliability goes up when you do missions for people. So as you can see, I just did a couple missions for her. There's a pretty cool one where she needed some gossip on somebody that was in, I think, shoot, where was she? Yeah, Sulky. So I had to buy 2 visas and then fly all the way to Sulky, even though the person was. And I'll go over how to find people in this game. It can be pretty difficult, but it's a lot of fun, at least in my opinion. Anyways, so that's how you build up loyalty: missions and supplying goods for people. You can also build up loyalty by becoming friends with people that are extremely loyal to their particular faction. But it's kind of a hit and miss sometimes, as you can see if you click on the U tab and you start scrolling down. So like becoming friends with Cadet Alam was a really good idea because it gave me all sorts of bonuses to wealth, influence, piloting ability. I haven't seen the requirement for piloting ability yet, but I would imagine that's in the if you go to the HQ of the military or something. And then boost relationships and perceive reliability. So missions will bump up reliability as well as your loyalty. Alright, so that was loyalty. Now loyalty is the easiest one. Wealth and reliability. Sorry, it's not wealth. It's wealth. And influence. Now those are the 2 that are a little bit difficult to get done. It'd be interesting if you can just show how much money you had, because I've got a ton from all my diamond farming there. But wealth is directly correlated with 2 things. It's directly correlated with any ships you may purchase. So I'm probably going to be upgrading my ship at some point. Actually pretty soon here. I've got all the best gear I could put on this poor little ship. Once I upgrade to the Cougar, I'll be able to brag to people that I've bought the Cougar, and that will bring up my wealth. So correlated directly with the ship that you purchased or the job that you've gotten. So if I eventually get manager or if I get senator, I can probably brag to them about getting that job, and I will get the bonus to both wealth as well as influence. All right. The second piece that directly correlates with wealth is who you know, and that's kind of what I was talking about earlier about making sure you're looking at this particular paragraph when you're talking to people and you're trying to become their friends. This person is extremely wealthy and somewhat known in frontier space. She's originally from the old Federation. So if I go to people that are not as wealthy and I brag about the fact that I'm friends with this person, this extremely wealthy thing will bump up my my wealth attribute with the particular person I'm talking with. So it's all about jobs, or for wealth, it's all about jobs, who you know that are rich, as well as the ship that you purchase. Because the ship I'm going to be purchasing is probably going to be around 40K, and you have the ability to brag about it after the fact. Now, influence is pretty tough so far, at least in the early game. Influence works the same way as wealth in the fact that you got to find someone that's really well known. So with this person, my influence isn't that great. Doesn't hit the line here that will then have her tell me I'm loyal, great fun, wealthy, and reliable, and then she would say influential. So with her, she's pretty influential herself. So having my influence be greater than hers is a little bit tougher. But if I go to somebody else that's not as influential, my influence will probably be pretty high if I've made sure to share that I'm friends with this particular person. So the gist of becoming friends with people is make sure you're becoming friends with the right people. The wrong people can give negative connotations to your attributes. For instance, I needed to befriend a hippie when I was looking for somebody. So if I go to this person here, let's see, there was another person that had negatives. Yeah, so this hippie doesn't like me because I became friends with another hippie. And you can easily see people's titles, and the titles influence their gains to your attributes. So if you get the dude or the dudette, you know that person's a hippie, and really don't want to become friends with them unless you really have to. Others are, like admiral or senator. All those people have high influential titles that will get you bigger gains in your influence attribute with others. So let's see, let's go down to friends. I think I have like an admiral. Yeah, Admiral Yvette Hoy, Princess Nichols. So always look out for those titles, and that will be kind of a good guideline for you to figure out if whether or not that person is influential or not. I would imagine your job has some level of influence as well. And yeah, that's it. So I'm probably going to do a written guide on how to gain each in each of the attributes. But if you've been following along, it's pretty obvious that you just need to find somebody that is. Oh, and just this little hint: if you're in conversation mode with somebody, the time moves at real time, so you don't waste so much time in the game. Anyways, you'll find that you have to find someone that's really high in a particular attribute. So if you befriend a pirate king, then you have the ability of lowering your morality with other folks by saying that you're that person's friend. And same goes on for people that are rich. It builds up your wealth. People that are influential builds up your influence, and all that good stuff. So TLDR, become friends with people that have the attributes you want, and you'll be able to have them start talking about you, as you can see from that last person. I didn't tell this guy that I was friends with Aja. She must have told him that she's now friends with me. So the more people you become friends with that are of the quality that you want, the more they'll talk to other people about your qualities. So let me see if I can find an example of that real quick before we cut for today. I'm still in New York, so I want to go back to that hotel or motel. And if I just pick on somebody that I haven't even talked to at all ever, you can see that becoming friends with this Ashley Cork was detrimental to me for that person, as well as that person. Yeah, so this is what happens when you've picked the wrong person to become friends with. Apparently this Ashley Cork person hangs out at this motel quite a bit, so yeah. Looking good so far. Alright, Professor. Yep, she's talked to Ashley Cork as well. So as you can see, just talking to somebody, becoming their friend, could have both positive and negative connotations to your attributes. So be careful who you become friends with. Alright, this is Johnnyonoes. I'm playing Soul Trader, and thanks so much for watching.